Hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar for the MA in Communication. My name is Jacob Johanssen. I am a senior lecturer here at the University of Westminster in the Communication and Media Research Institute, and I'm the acting course leader for the MA. So I'm currently covering for Dr. Maria Michaelis, who is the permanent course leader while she's on research leave and doing a research project. So depending on when you join us, you might either have myself as your course leader or Maria Michaelis. Just I'll say a little bit about the structure of the webinar and what I'll be mainly talking about today. I'll be talking about the course structure. So what is the MA in Communication? What are its strengths? How is it structured? What are the different kind of elements that you will learn about, that you will take part in when you join us? Then I'll talk a little bit about the teaching team. So who are the academics that you might meet on the course, that you'll be engaged with, that you'll be learning from? And you might also be interested in hearing a little bit about the students on the course. So in the past, who have sort of been the typical students who've joined us, who've been on the course, where they're from, and what they do after graduation when they've completed the masters. Before I go into more detail about the course itself, I'd just like to start by saying a little bit about where we are and the sort of location of the course. As you all know, the MA course is in London. The University of Westminster is in London, and London is a very exciting place, not only academically but also more widely in terms of its culture and possibilities for professional development. So London is a global hub for the media and the creative industries. It's probably one of the most exciting cities to be in if you're interested in pursuing a career in the media and creative industries, and there are many opportunities for you to develop your own profiles and your skills while you're here, not only academically by studying with us, but also exploring and making use of the wider possibilities that London has to offer in terms of, for example, internships and work placements, the academic culture that is on offer at various universities in London, and also the sort of additional help that we can offer you in, for example, finding a work placement. And I'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of the webinar. So to start really and say a little bit about the University of Westminster and the faculty where the MA is based at. The University of Westminster was actually the first university in the UK to set up a course, a BA course in media studies in 1975. So it's been really pioneering in shaping the field of media and communication studies that is offered in the UK, and that is also offered across the world. And Westminster has been very influential in that respect. So the university has really been at the forefront of teaching media-related courses ever since 1975, and the Communication Media Research Institute, where the academics that you meet when you join the course are based at, is recognized for its really quality and world-leading research that explores different aspects of the media from a critical point of view. So by joining us, you can really access that kind of emerging academic thought through teaching, but also beyond. We have many events that we put on throughout the year, such as conferences or one-day events that you can attend, that are free for you to attend. And students have always told me that they find these events very useful for networking purposes, for meeting others, for meeting other academics and professionals as well. We also have a seminar series, which is called the CAMRI Seminar Series, which is run by the Communication and Media Research Institute, where we host an academic every 2 weeks who will come in and talk about their research. And these are, again, academics from across the world who present cutting-edge, state-of-the-art research in London, and it's free for everyone to attend and to listen to. And here you can see some of the speakers who we've recently hosted, and they've talked about different topics such as the mediatization of development, journalism and emotion, big data and parenting, and many other topics as well. So here we have a picture of Harrow Campus. Harrow Campus is where you have most of your classes if you come and join us in September, and it's in North London. It's situated just a short tube journey away from central London. And it's a state-of-the-art media campus where you can not only engage in academic learning, in attending classes and being on campus, but we also have a brand new library that's been refurbished last year and has been really popular with students and been really praised by them. And there's also, of course, a set of more kind of practice-based facilities where you can also enroll on additional courses that could be about, for example, learning how to use video editing software or Adobe Photoshop, for example. So it's really offering you the whole package when it comes to media, art and design. And this is where the Faculty of Media Arts and Design is based, and where you'll be based as well. Okay, to talk more specifically about the MA in Communication, the MA is one of the longest running ones in the department here, and it has been taught and updated and revised since 1990. It's got an excellent national and international reputation, and it's really a course about critically questioning, understanding and analysing contemporary media and communication in all its different ways. So the course places an emphasis on theory and critical engagement with the media, and it gives you really a range of analytical skills that are very useful for your careers after the MA. You receive a very well-grounded, high-quality education and skill base, and a very clear and comprehensive understanding of communication and media. And the MA is really designed for those of you who may have worked in the media or creative industries already, and those who may have just completed their BA and want to pursue a career in the media or the creative industries after the MA. And the course really takes into account contemporary social, cultural and political issues, and if you join us in September, some questions that we might discuss in a seminar or in a class are, for example, what role does social media play in political activism? How does the internet change our identities? How are different cultures represented in the media? Does media ownership matter? What's the role of audiences in today's rich media environment? So you can see the course really covers a wide range of aspects and topics that are important in thinking about the media and how the media is changing today. How are you taught? So when you start the course and throughout the course you are mainly taught in what's in the UK is called modules. So basically you can think of a module as a 3-hour session that consists of a lecture that is then followed by a seminar. And the lecture is given by a member of staff who introduces a particular topic for the week and gives you a detailed introduction to it, and that will last for about an hour. And then you have a seminar afterwards where you get together in small groups and have the chance to discuss and ask questions about that particular lecture, about the particular topic. And we really make seminars very interactive, and students really value them because they're a chance for you to explore issues in more detail, to ask questions if anything was unclear, and to really debate a particular issue that may be very interesting for that particular session. And students really value the kind of exchange of opinion that always occurs in a seminar. So you can either study the MA full-time or part-time. Full-time students will complete the MA in 1 year, and part-time students have 2 years to complete it. And over the 1 year, if you are studying it full-time, or 2 years if you're studying it part-time, you would take the equivalent of 6 modules that are each weighted at 20 credits. And there's also a 60 credit module, which is called the dissertation module, which runs across the year. So you will have modules that you can choose from, and you will also have in each MA program what is called core modules, where everyone on the course is required to take that module, but then you have a range of other modules that you can also choose from. And the dissertation module runs across the year and is designed to help you to conduct a piece of independent research, which is called the dissertation, which you hand in at the end of August, towards the end of your MA. And if you're a part-time student, you hand in your dissertation in the second year at the end of August. I've mentioned that there is a core module for every MA program, and on this MA communication course, the core module is called Theories of Communication, and I teach it together with my colleague Heidi Herzogenrath-Amelung. And this module is really, you can see a list of topics here that we cover every year. So these will be the topics for each lecture, and then each lecture is followed by a seminar. And the module is really there to introduce you to the main ways of thinking about the media, and to help you evaluate and assess a particular theory that we may be covering. So for example, you can see here that we'll talk about Habermas's notion of the public sphere, and how the public sphere is changing maybe in light of social media and changing media environments, and how we can take part in politics and decision making through the internet, for example. And we place an emphasis on giving you a sort of chronological, historical introduction to theories of communication. And then in the seminars, we debate and discuss the different theories that we have covered, and we are always very interested in what students think of it, how it relates to your particular cultural backgrounds, and so on. Here you can see a list of all the modules that you can choose from. So here you can see the different optional modules that you can choose in semester 1 and semester 2. And you can also see the core modules listed here. So in semester 1, your core module is the Theories of Communication module that I just talked about. And it's the MA dissertation module, which runs across the year. The MA dissertation module has 2 elements. So in semester 1 always runs from September until before Christmas, and I run the MA dissertation module as well, and I give you an introduction to what it means to conduct a research project on your own. And it's really designed to guide you through what it means to choose a research topic, what it means to come up with a research question, how to find literature, and so on. And there is also a large element of peer learning in the module, where you discuss and present your ideas that you might have on a particular topic, and I and your fellow students will give you feedback on that as well. This module then continues into the second semester, where you have a dissertation supervisor. You are assigned an individual supervisor who will guide you through the actual dissertation process. So through the actual process of writing the dissertation, of researching a topic, of finding the data, and so on. So you can see the level of support offered is very extensive, and students really value that, and they've said so to me in the past. Other modules that you can see on here are, for example, a module on global media, which is run by Professor Dayatusu, which is concerned with any aspects about global media flows. We also have a module on the political economy of communication, which is about the economic aspects of media and the internet in particular, and how we can critically understand questions like media ownership or, for example, the Edward Snowden revelations and what they might mean for the media landscape today and so on. And we also have modules on communication policy, which we offer in semester 1, and then we have a module that is more aimed at looking at policies for digital convergence, which is offered in semester 2. In semester 1, we also offer what you can see here at the bottom of the slide, a module that is called Study Skills. In most modules, you are assessed by writing 1 or 2 essays that you then hand in. And we also provide a lot of guidance and support with essay writing in the form of individual tutorials in each module, where you can discuss your idea on how you want to answer a particular essay question. But we also have the module Study Skills, which is non-assessed, so you don't write any essay or any assignment in it, but it's really there to guide you if you are, for example, not from the UK, or if English is not your first language, to give you an introduction to the academic conventions in the UK and how you can write a very good essay, how you can find literature, for example, how you can structure your essay well, and so on. And this module is always very popular with students, and they've valued it very much. In semester 2, you have another core module that you're required to take, which is called Approaches to Media and Communication Research, and it's really there to complement the dissertation module insofar as it gives you a very practical and hands-on introduction to research methods. And I run it together with my colleague Xin, and we provide you a very practical introduction to what a research method is, for example, an interview or a content analysis, and how you might go about and use a particular research method together to collect data that you can use in your dissertation. And the module is very practical because you will do little exercises in the seminars, you will do little group work exercise where you can test different methods and use them and see what you think of them. We also have other modules, optional modules that you can choose from, for example, media activism and politics, a module on media audiences, a module on Chinese media. We have a module on development and communication policy, and a module on media business strategy, and also sociology of news, which is concerned with issues of journalism. Here you can just see a course diagram, which is just another way of showing you the breakdown of the different modules, and you can see the dissertation module at the top, which sort of runs across the year, and then you can see the particular core module in semester 1, which is theories of communication, and then the other modules that you can choose from. And in semester 2, you can see your core module and the other modules that you can choose from. You can also choose another module, for example, that is not here on the list, that may be offered in another faculty if you'd like to. So you could choose one module that is not part of this list, for example. The course team, who will you be engaging with and learning from when you join the MA? There are a number of colleagues who you will be working with during your study, and some of them you can see in the photo here. I'm not on the photo myself, but these are my colleagues in the Communication Media Research Institute, and between them they have really a set of expertise, and they are known for their world-leading research in very different areas. For example, in relation to social media, to communication policy, to media and activism, to media and diversity, to social movements and politics and the media, and also with regards to development issues and media in Africa, and so on. So depending on which option or modules you choose, you will meet some of the colleagues here in the photo. And here you can see some of the books that you might read when you enroll in the program. These books have all been written by colleagues in the Communication Media Research Institute, and many of the books that we feature on the reading lists for a particular module that you are required to read a chapter in, for example, are actually written by colleagues here at the University of Westminster. So you can see books by Christian Fuchs here, David Gauntlet, Winston Mano, Maria Michaelis, Graham Meikle, Hugo de Berg or Daya Tuso, who all work in the Communication and Media Research Institute and have, as you can see, written on a diverse range of contemporary, very pressing issues in the media today. Students on the course, you might be interested in hearing a little bit about who are the sort of typical students that come on the course, what is the student cohort, what does it look like for each year, and sort of from experience I can tell you that we have a very, very diverse group of students who join us every year. We have students from Southeast Asia and China, and also Vietnam, Indonesia. We also have students from India, from the Middle East, or from Africa, and also students from Europe, and also, of course, from the UK. So you can see a very, very multicultural group that really represents the University of Westminster. The University of Westminster is the most diverse university in the UK, and this really sort of group of different students is really valued by students, that because, for example, you can really learn from each other and from different viewpoints and cultural backgrounds, particularly when you engage in discussions in the seminars. Who is the course for? I've talked a little bit about that at the beginning, but I'll say a bit more about that now. So we're really looking for students who are interested in debates that concern contemporary media and how the world is changing as a result of new technologies. So, for example, some questions that we also might discuss are, how is populism challenging traditional journalism? Or how do social movements make use of media technologies? And if you are interested in these sort of questions and these sort of debates, and really exploring the media and how the media are sort of have historically evolved and how they are changing today, then this MA program is really for you. And I actually have some student testimonials here where some students who've been on the course have had this to say about their experience on the course, and I'll just let you kind of read it for a minute. So as you can see, this particular student joined us on the MA and has now decided to continue and study for a PhD, and she's also at the University of Westminster now and studying for a PhD. We also always have a number of students who do the MA and then they decide they want to continue academic work and they study for a PhD afterwards. And here is another testimonial of a student who was with us last year and studied on the course and is now currently getting advice from the Career Development Centre in planning his career options and in looking for a career in the media and creative industries. Where do the students work? the students generally work across the media and the creative industries, both locally and globally. We have many international students, as I said, who work in the media and creative industries across the world. The MA course is very well established among employers and has a very good national and international reputation. And for that reason, students are very successful in finding employment very shortly after they've graduated. And they've worked in the media and creative industries, but also in the broader private sector, for example, in consulting, advertising, or public relations firms, but also in the public sector, for example, in government ministries, regulatory authorities, but also NGOs and international agencies as well. And more specifically, with regards to the media, we've had students in the past who are now working for CCTV, for Xinhua, for BBC World Service, or for KBS, and many more other media companies as well. Just before I finish and give you time to ask some questions, here's a list of other useful information that I cannot really cover in this webinar today, so you can go back to the slides and have a look at these resources. They're all on the University of Westminster website, so also if you just go onto the main website and put in the search box, for example, accommodation, you will find all of these pages there. So we offer accommodation. We have halls here at Harrow Campus and also in central London. You can also find information on scholarships. And we also have the Career Development Centre that really offers you guidance on, for example, how to write a CV, how to write a cover letter, how to prepare for a job interview, and so on. And we also have a specific team which helps with internships and who you can turn to as well for work placements. Each MA, and this MA in Communication, also has a course page where you can find a summary of some of the information I've talked about today, where you can find a summary of each module, and you can also see my email address here if you want to send me any questions. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. And also, if you have specific questions about the admissions procedure, you can contact Neela Gandhi, who is the admissions officer for this course, and her email address is on there as well.
Just before we go into questions, we do have a postgraduate loan for home and DU students, and it's not means tested. It's introduced last year, and you can get up to £10,000 for your studies, and that's paid to you in thirds, in a third every term, depending on if you're doing full-time or part-time. So make sure to go to the gov.uk website to apply if you are a home and EU student, because that is an opportunity to be able to pay for the course as well. So the first one is someone who's been working as a music and arts editor for various outlets. And what they were looking at is, because their focus is on culture and not politics, would the course material be suitable for them? So I guess, like, if we can talk on a general level of what kind of spheres that you can operate in within media to actually work on in this MA.
Thank you very much for that question. I think that's very relevant. We do cover the media and sort of thinking about the media from a variety of perspectives. And the course itself is very interdisciplinary in that we're not only drawing on media and communication studies, but we're also drawing on philosophy, sociology, different academic disciplines that we're all bringing together to explore the media and sort of related topics. And we're not only looking at the sort of political aspects of it or the political sphere alone. And I do think, as you say, sort of cultural aspects are very important as well. And we have, I would say, a range of modules that you could, for example, choose that specifically cover that and might relate to your interests. For example, module on media audiences, which is run by Tariq Sabri, which looks at audiences in relation to ethnicity and more issues in cultural studies on a sort of global level as well. We also have a module on global media, for example, which is not only about the sort of politics of global media and global media flows and new global media channels and so on, but also questions such as cultural imperialism, how are particular media channels more dominant than others, how is that kind of balance of power changing in the world, and so on. And also the module that I teach on theories of communication is places a big emphasis on cultural aspects of communication as well, and what it means to communicate, and how if different sort of cultures are involved, and other questions such as gender or that sort of aspect, what that means for thinking about communication. So definitely we think about the cultural sphere as well.
Okay, a question that we've got from someone about kind of the route into doing the MA.
Yeah.
So do most of the students come in directly from doing a BA, or do you expect a certain level of experience before actually applying? What's the kind of profile of students you're looking for?
Yeah, we really have a sort of varied profiles of students. So we always have students who come in sort of straight after their BA. So they've done their BA and now they want to continue studying and want to sort of deepen their knowledge, and this MA is really for them. But equally, we get students who have worked a few years, or some have worked a number of years in various industries, in the media, for example, and then join us as well. And it's really that mix of students that makes the MA very, very sort of productive and very fruitful in how you learn from each other and how you engage with each other. So it's really open for both, really.
Okay. Oh, and we've got another question about what's the general kind of size of classes during the modules, size of classes generally?
Yeah. So generally, modules are very small, which I think is really important in order to guarantee sort of successful and enabling learning environment. So what you will always have, you will have a lecture where you have the group, which is a bit larger, but it's also, I would say, a maximum of maybe 30 students. And then you will very often have 2 seminar groups where that group is broken into two, where you have 15 or sometimes 10 students in a seminar and a seminar leader, and then you can really engage in detailed conversations.
Yeah, and what kind of days would people be studying during a kind of normal week?
Yeah, you will always, in the first semester, for example, you always have teaching on a Tuesday. On Tuesdays, the global media module runs in the morning, and then the theories of communication module, if you were to do one of those, runs in the afternoon. And some of the modules we offer are also evening modules that run in the evenings. So most of the teaching will be on a Tuesday, and some of it is on Wednesdays as well. And the dissertation module in semester 1 is on a Friday. But for most of semester 1 and semester 2, you will come in 2 days a week for teaching mostly.
Okay. And thank you very much, Jacob, for the presentation. And we hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing many of you in September. And if you have any questions, please send me an email, and I'm very happy to answer any follow-up questions.